Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Allen and this is my capstone project for Imaging Science Spring 2016. We will be discussing the bioeffects of ultrasound. The purpose of this project is to inform you about the potential bioeffects of ultrasound to a fetus. As we all know, ultrasound is in its infancy, so there are no actual harmful effects noted to date, but the potential is there. The things that are found most worrisome that we will cover is the heating of tissue, cavitation, ALARA, and FDA recommendations, mechanical index, and thermal index. I will be discussing these things throughout this presentation. Ultrasound has a lot of diagnostic value but must be used when deemed medically necessary. It is important for the community to understand that the FDA recommends to use ultrasound as ALARA. ALARA means as low as reasonably possible. To achieve ALARA, a thorough knowledge of the imaging mode, transducer capabilities, system setup, and operator scanning techniques is needed. It is important that patients only have ultrasounds done for diagnostic reasons and not for fun, like at 3D places just to get images for sentimental value, keepsakes for scrapbooks, and so on. The reason for this is there is still so much unknown about ultrasound and its long-term effects. The reason that the FDA makes these recommendations is for the safety of the patient and fetus due to the tissue heating and cavitation caused from the sound waves. Cavitation is the interaction of ultrasound with gas bubbles or contrast agents causing rapid and potentially large changes in bubble size, which increases temperature and pressure within the bubble, and thereby causes mechanical stress to surrounding tissues. It also precipitates fluid, microjet formation, and generates free radicals. Gas-containing structures such as the lungs and intestines are most susceptible to the effects of acoustic cavitation. On a side note, I just want to say that researchers have found that an ultrasound to a baby sounds like a subway train coming into a station, which is very loud. The sound waves, if aimed directly at babies' ears, can reach up to 100 decibels. The equipment used today has much higher acoustic output than the earlier equipment that was used. It is the technologist's duty to ensure that every patient scanned is done so on the lowest settings possible and with the least amount of exposure time as possible. The mechanical index and thermal index must always be at the lowest settings. Most equipment already have these settings at the minimum as the default, but it is important that this is checked before every exam by the sonographer. The mechanical index estimates the potential for mechanical effects like cavitation. Thermal index is the ratio of total acoustic power. Thermal index is also known as TI, and TI corresponds to the different mechanisms of heat production. Temperature elevation greater than 4 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes is potentially hazardous to embryos. And we know this because there has been guinea pig experiments done on guinea pig embryos, and there have been harmful effects. The spectral Doppler, which is used during ultrasound, can reach these dangerous levels, and also temperature elevates near bone. So it is important that sonographers keep this in mind when giving an ultrasound exam. It is difficult to test the effects on human subjects due to ethical reasons. So in conclusion, I just want to restate that it is very important for ultrasound to be used with the ALARA guidelines due to the potential for bioeffects such as cavitation and the heating of tissue. The potential is very much there due to the higher acoustic output in today's modern ultrasound equipment. Women should not have pregnancy ultrasounds done unless deemed medically necessary. It is important that the baby's brains, eyes, and lungs are not overly exposed to ultrasound waves. Those areas are the most sensitive to cavitation. It is the sonographer's responsibility to ensure that every patient gets a thorough exam, but must keep in mind that overexposing a patient and fetus to long-term acoustic output increases the chance of cavitation and tissue heating, which can be very harmful to an embryo and the fetus. Thank you all so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video and will help me spread the word about using ultrasound for diagnostic reasons only.